Iron Claw is a biographical sports drama thriller written and directed by Sean Durkin. The true story of inseparable Von Erich brothers who made history in the intensely competitive world of professional wrestling in the early 1980s. Film's runtime is 132 minutes. Film's rating is R in color. Stars pretty boy Zac Efron. Anyways, The Iron Claw. This was the last movie I saw in the double feature that I saw with Anyone But You. And I chose this movie. I went with my girlfriend. She had her film choice. I had my film choice. And I guess we found out which one was the best. The Iron Claw. Wow. Man. This film. Prehistory, I guess, quick history. I am a fan of wrestling. When I was younger, I remember seeing, I think, the late 2000s. Specifically, the John Cena era. A little bit of the aggression era, but going into the John You Can't See Me era, aka 2011, 10, 12. I had all the video games. I remember back in the day, I had SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. On the Wii. The Wii was my first console, if you didn't know that. And yeah, man, I used to collect all the wrestling games. I still kind of do, because lately the wrestling games have been pretty good lately. This film is devastating. That's what I could put it. It is it's like a Greek tragedy in real life, but in wrestling. And it tells the story of the Von Erichs, one of the most famous families in wrestling history. And it tells the story of them as brothers, as wrestlers, trying to be the best, trying to be competitive, but also trying to be the best. But they also dealing with tragedy that just illumes them. And of course them saying about, ooh, the curse, are we cursed or something? And this film is one of the best movies of the year. I actually, before talking about this movie, I just did a top 10 list, and it's like number 5. It's one of the best movies of the year, and I just saw it, and it's like, this film, it is incredible. This is one incredible film. There is no faults I can have with this film. One I can probably think out of the top of the head is probably like Ric Flair being not Ric Flair. And it's also, you can't even hate on the guy, because it's like, bro, Ric Flair is such a hard guy to imitate, and he's so special. So it's like difficult to just have some guy pretend to be Ric Flair, pretty much. But when of course he's being Ric Flair in live, it's like, eh. But when he's in real life, it's like he's more Ric Flair, I think, in real life. So there's that too. That, and I think the whole George thing, I think that's his name, the other Von Erich that they couldn't find time for, which is kind of disrespectful in a way. Can't find time for a guy who died, who is part of this family. Come on, man. But maybe the guy had, maybe the man just had no time, I guess, to put him in there, which I think he could have. You could just put him in there. Tell that story quickly, I think. But yeah, other than that, this is such an amazing film. It's such a really fantastic film. And the performances, you got, of course, Zac Efron playing Kevin Von Erich, who, he's part of the family. He's Zac Efron, and damn, that performance by him, though. It is incredible. This is one of the best performances I've ever seen from Zac Efron. Like, genuinely. First off, I've known them. I've seen him before in the musical movies, High School Musical. So it's just crazy to see him and how has he evolved as an actor. And also just, dude looking buff as heck. That guy is just insane. I can imagine what the man did for that role. But, Zac Efron, what an incredible performance. And just him dealing with such loss, because this movie has so much loss to it. Just tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. It's like, Jesus Christ. It really is one of the most devastating movies, because it's just tragedy after tragedy. And some people will look at this movie like, did this really even happen? Like, so much, just so crazy. But it did. This all happened, and it's even worse. The film tells the story, but in real life, it's even worse. So it's such a tragedy, and just Mr. Zac Efron really conveying the emotions of a man who loves his brothers. I mean, this man loves his brothers. He loves hanging out with them. And just, I could find that with my friends, and I just have that same thing, like, oh my God, I love my friends, I really do love them. And it's like, wow, it is so powerful. It really is. Man, Zac Efron, and just him being innocent, such an innocent guy, not really experiencing, shit like that. And yeah, Kevin, wow, Zac Efron, great job. And also you got Lily James as Pam, the lovebird. And yeah, I love Lily James. She's Cinderella, man, for God's sake. And yeah, I just love her in this movie. She's there for him, pretty much. She's like I can imagine Zac Efron, if this man didn't have his wife, it'd be even just more devastating and just harder. So it's good that he had that wife, pretty much, for him to be with him, to make comfort him during such tough moments, pretty much. And man, bad. I don't want to stop talking about Zac Efron because I don't want this review to be 20 minutes. But man, that performance, I don't know, man. I hope he gets nominated. I'd be pissed if he didn't. It is so amazing. And Jeremy Allen White, you got supporting. He plays Kerry Von Erich, one of the pretty much the most popular of the family. He's the one that made it to WWF and becoming world champ. And man, Kerry Von Erich is another just incredible performance by Jeremy Allen White. Also, he's just been knocking it out of the park lately. And yeah, Kerry, he's great. He's another character that is dealing with such demons in him. Harris Dickinson as David Von Erich. I love him in this movie. I thought he's the brother that is just, he's the funny one. He's the one that with the most personality. I think Kerry's he's not the most popular, like the most personality of the family. He's really to the, laid back kind of person. But I just love David. I think David is the one, the fun one, I think, of the family. The one who just, you can tell this man just loves to fuck with his brothers. And he seems like such a cool dude. And I can imagine he's such a cool dude in real life. Mike Von Erich, played by Stanley Simmons. I would call him the Fredo of the family. The one who just gets looked pretty much past. Like, he's the weakest of the family, which is devastating. Like, no child should be told that. Being ranked like by Fritz, being ranked by like, oh yeah, so I prefer him, and this guy's last. Like, that's just no way. Like, no, I can wonder why these people did what they did to themselves, because it's just like, I can imagine being told that. Like, I don't know, that's crazy to me. So, but he's the Fredo of the family, but also he's just a good guy. You can tell this guy he doesn't want to be a wrestler. He loves music more than anything. But he's part of the Von Erich, so he's pretty much told to go. And yeah, I thought the kid was great. And it's just devastating, that loss. And the antagonist of the film, I would say, because there isn't really like an antagonist, but he is technically an antagonist. Holt McCallany as Fritz Von Erich, the father of the family, who, very tough, man. This guy is so tough in his family. He wants them to be the best. And sometimes just alludes to certain personal shit, like, dealing with their demons and dealing with their mental stuff. Didn't even try to help them with that, and being so tough and just being kind of an asshole to them. We're ranking the brothers now, like ranking your own son. Like, I don't know. He is the antagonist. He is the one that most people, there's not really any blame, because shit, I mean, these people not only just going through drugs and suicide, it's things like that. But the man you would put the blame on would be Mr. Fritz Von Erich, because he was just such a hard ass and such a tough guy to his own sons, and forcing them and being really hard and making them just put their body in the line pretty much, and just being really hard. Holt McCallany is awesome. I think he's really good in this film as well. It's such an incredible performance by him. And I gotta give respect to the mom, Doris Von Erich, played by Maura Tierney, the one who, in the movie they say, Dad protects us with wrestling, Mom protects us with God. And yeah, man, she's great. And it is, you look at this woman, you could tell this woman's also hiding her feelings a lot. But it's like, you can imagine being this woman, that idea of just losing your kids back to back to back in such a short period of time. It's like, that has to take a toll on somebody. And I thought the woman did an incredible job really showing the emotions that she was dealing with. And yeah, I thought she was great. Performances by everybody's incredible. Direction by Sean Durkin is really good. The chemistry of the brothers is really what makes this movie as amazing as it is, because it takes its time really showing the relationship between them as brothers, and it's awesome. And when the domino effect happens, it's like, really, it hits even harder. And I thought, yeah, the chemistry between everybody's incredible. The story is, again, it's not like it's a story that's original. It's a biopic. This shit happened pretty much. And it is, as a story of like real life, it is like a tragedy. It is a tragic moment in life. It is tragedy, but also loving, because the brothers and really showing love with each other. It's hard. It's a hard picture. The DP is Matthias Erdely. This is such a well shot movie. It is incredibly shot. It looks straight out of like the 70s, and the quality of the film itself is just, it looks like you're watching it when it happened, pretty much. The score by Richard Reed Parry is really good. This is a very well composed film. It is eerie, especially during the ending or during the shit is eerie. Just the music choices really showing what the time is, and yeah, the score is really good. The costume design by Jennifer Starsick, which she doesn't have really much film credit, but I'm gonna give her respect for Mindhunter because Holt McCallany is in this film. But yeah, costume's great. Everybody looks like wrestlers from the 70s. The costume designing is really good. And yeah, what else can I give this movie? Oh, the wrestling scenes are really good, and I love when the wrestling scenes happen. They're pretty good and very exciting. And also got to give respect to Chavo Guerrero. He's the one that helped these guys wrestle. So Chavo, I'm happy for him that he's really having a good. He has a place in Hollywood now. I'm happy that he has work. This film, what an amazing movie. The words I could describe this film is tragic, but by heartfelt, loving, especially the brothers and just how much they just love each other and love hanging out and being together and spending time together. Like, Kevin Von Erich is not a guy he's like, I want to be a champ or this and that, which, of course, in his own mind, he's like, oh, damn it, I want to be a champ. In the mind and his heart, he just loves being with his brothers, and that is powerful shit. That is powerful shit. Rating-wise, 5 out of 5. I think it's one of the best movies of the year. I think it's such an incredible movie. I literally just saw this yesterday. My girlfriend cried during the fucking movie, and I damn near teared up. It is such an incredible movie. It's tragic, but by the end, there's hope. So I'll give it that. But don't go into this movie expecting a lighthearted fun movie. There's some lightheartedness, of course, with the brothers. But just remember, shit's gonna go down in the movies. Just wait to see. Anyways, the Iron Claw. Hope you guys see it. What a great way to end the year, man. What a year. This year has been very consistent when it comes to film and talking about film. Next year, like I said, I think I made the announcement already of me not talking about every film that I see or having to upload all the time. When it comes to uploading videos, this weekend I'm gonna upload all the movies, but after the year, I'm gonna focus on filmmaking. Hopefully we can do hopefully things go well, hopefully. And I will still talk about film, just really good movies and amazing movies that I find just worth talking about. And anyways, those are my thoughts for the Iron Claw.